Hi, my name is Stacy.Clark. This is my video demonstration. I'm going to actually do it as what I would do for my Math 700 class currently, but basically this is a pre-algebra level where we'll be going over the introductions of polynomials. All right. Okay, so this is the introduction of polynomials. We're going to talk about what polynomials are today. So the main objectives that we want to be able to cover are we want to learn the meaning of term. That's a math word that we want to make sure that we understand. Also, we want to learn how to identify the degree of the polynomial and learn how what the classifications are for the polynomial. Basically, we're going to be putting them into groups to be able to describe them, and then learn how to or know how to evaluate a polynomial. All right, so first of all, some keywords here. Polynomial. Polynomial is basically the combination of polynomial, poly meaning many, and nomial meaning numbers. So in this case, in terms of algebra, we treat it as an algebraic expression. Remember, an expression is a mathematical statement without the equal to and the other side. It's not equal to something. It's just the mathematical statement without an equal to and something that it's equal to. So it's an algebraic expression that includes numbers, which we call coefficients. So that's also another important math word. Exponents, which we've already talked about, and then variables, which are, remember, the letters that represent unknown numbers. So getting into coefficients, you see that it's in blue because that's another new term. So coefficients are the number that variables or a variable or variables is multiplied by. So this would be an R if it was a plural of variables. So basically, anytime we see an expression, if we see something like 6x squared, the 6 is the coefficient. Okay, now some other important terms. And on this page are important math terms that we're learning today, or math words, sorry, are in blue. So the second word that we have here is term. And a term is basically, it's a combination of coefficients and variables and exponents that are separated by plus or minus signs. So basically, a term, it consists of numbers and variables that are being multiplied or divided by each other. There's no addition or subtraction that's going on. So if we use 6x squared, again, 6x squared is a term, but as soon as I put a plus sign there and I put 4x, that's a second term. So here is term 1 and here is term 2. And then I can do a subtraction sign or another addition sign, and I can put 5 there. This, even though it doesn't have a variable, is also a term. Okay, now that 5 leads us into our next word that we're looking at, constant. A constant is a number or a coefficient. So it's a number, or you can think of it as a coefficient that is multiplied by a variable to the 0 power. Remember, before we talked about how anything to the 0 power really equals 1. So if we think about this, let's go with our minus 5. This would be minus 5 times x to the 0, which we know is minus 5 times 1, which is really just minus 5. And so that's what makes it a constant. Last word on this list of math words to learn is degree. And the degree is the highest exponent in the polynomial. So as we look at all the different terms, we want to look at the exponent of the variable, whichever one is biggest is going to be the degree of the polynomial. All right, so that being said, we're going to talk about the classifications of polynomials, and then we're going to actually look at using polynomials and evaluating them and going in a little bit further. So first of all, we have the term monomial. So mon means one. So this means one number or one term. So each of these, you can see we have 3 examples of a monomial. Now let's talk about the degree of each of these. So the degree, I'm going to change colors here. The degree of this first one, it has an exponent of 5, and this isn't the coefficient, this is the exponent. So this is a 5th degree polynomial. Okay, for the second one, we see that there's actually two variables involved. And usually in pre-algebra, we don't deal with multivariable equations, but I just want to use this as an example because in polynomials, if there are multiple variables, the degree of the term is figured out by adding the two exponents. So in this case, we're doing 1 plus 1. So this is a second degree polynomial. Now for this third monomial, oh wow, I went really long.